And Rachie, do you mind to go into the stamp pad and just watch comments on your phone? Because I'm going to turn it off on my computer. If you just go to the stamppad.com.
Okay.
All right. Are we? Okay, I can't hear myself, so that's weird. Okay. Can you hear us? Okay. Looks like we are in the Facebook. I don't know why it's like we are in the Facebook. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can hear me. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can hear me. Okay. All right, so hello, this is Tracy Evans Langley, and we are at the stamp pad this evening. And we're going to do our technique. We're doing a technique-based mystery stamping. Okay, let's see. Why can't I have no sound? This is so weird. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully, if you are, hopefully, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so you can hear me. That's good. Okay. All right. So as long as you can hear me, that means everybody else should. I can't, if I have on Facebook and have it on. I get echo.
Yeah, I'm getting echo.
I get echo. Okay, so
yeah, I'm getting echo.
All right, there. Okay, so we're turned off there. All right. So Elaine, you're my person. If you get where you can't hear me, I guess yell at me or something. Okay. All right, so we are going to jump right in. Hopefully we have some other people joining us tonight. So I'm going to switch over and I'm going to, let's see if I can do this. View, back to gallery. Hey, Nate. And Rachel's behind us, so we have people in the house. And there we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to just jump right in. If you have a question, just yell or type. Rachel's going to watch Facebook for me, hopefully, since I can't. For some reason, yeah, and you're going to laugh. I had my iPad packed for our trip to Cuba to watch movies on. And I don't know where I put it. So I need to find it. All right, so really basic tonight. You're going to need a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to score that at 4 1/4. You're going to have one sheet that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I know you guys love cutting those. And then you're going to have just our standard pieces like we would normally have. I got to slide over a little bit. That are our standard 4 by 5 1/4. I did cut myself an extra, and I will tell you, I did practice. I don't always practice, but I did practice. This is a technique that I learned, oh my gosh, years when I was a first stamping. So 20 years ago, maybe 21. And we used to do it with glossy cardstock, but since we don't have glossy cardstock right now, I decided to improvise and we're going to do it on regular basic white cardstock. So it's a little bit different effect, but I think you'll still like it. I'm going to use a brayer and a piercing mat if I can figure out where I put them.
I have a question. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You said 8.5 by what? Your directions said 8.5 by 11.
Oh,
You didn't say the scoring.
8. So yeah, it's standard card base. It's 8.5. It's 5.5 by 8.5. This is why you have somebody proofread your stuff. I've been doing too many. I think I've just been doing too many things lately. All right, I gotta find a piercing mat somewhere. I had one. I've had a piercing mat out all day. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna need is a brayer or blending brushes. If you're using a brayer, you want a piercing mat. And the other thing, if you're using a brayer, is you're going to want to have a way to clean the brayer that's easy. So either be able to run it under some water or use baby wipe or something like that, something easy. The other thing we're going to need right now is some sticky notes. And it can be any kind of sticky notes. They don't have to be anything special. Oops. All right, I'm holding my tray. So I'm gonna I had some from a trade show, from an airplane trade show, and then just some random ones that I had on my desk. So I've got my sticky notes. So we're gonna do that first. Do you not know what I did with that person? That's so weird. Elaine, don't worry about the card base right now. That's the last thing that we'll do. So the only thing you really need right now is your 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by, I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4 piece, your sticky notes. That's what we need right now. So we don't actually need our piercing mat quite yet, because it's really hard to see the white paper on the wet paper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 of our smallest sticky notes. And I lied, I'm not going to use those rectangular ones. Okay, hang on. Oh, those would be perfect. No, I've got some that size. I need this. Here, you might need some of this. So you'll need 3 of those, 2 of those, and then 1 big one. So here's some odd shaped things. Okay. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 3. Can you see here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to take 3 of your smallest sticky notes, and you're just going to place them anywhere you want on your piece of white cardstock.
This is the 4 1/8 part.
This is the 4 by 5 1/4, just your regular card base, just your regular card. Okay. And you do, not like what I just did, you do want them to be relatively straight. Relatively. If they're not. And the fun thing is if you have some sticky notes that are circles or other shapes, you can totally use those too. And they don't all have to be on the page. They could go off the page a wee bit too. So that's where my 3 are going to go. I'm pretty okay with that. I think that's okay. So that's how my 3 are going to go. yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. So there's my 3. And then I'm going to take 2 of what I'm considering my medium-sized ones. So for me, that's the pink ones, Rachel. So I'm going to take 2 of those. And I'm going to put those on. And these can overlap your 3. They don't have to be, you do want to have some white space. So again, these can go off the edges. So think that you do want to have a little bit of white space on your project. So you know what, we're going to go down. We're going to do that. Make that one go over there. And we'll have this one. Let's see, we'll do this one right here. And then finally, we're going to take our last one, our biggest one, and we're going to do 1. And we're just going to put him randomly someplace. And again, you want to have a little bit of white space. So you want to have something showing. So I've got a little bit of white space on my edges right now. Okay, maybe we'll do a little more. Let's move him down just a little bit. Let's do him. We're going to do something crazy. I'm going to do that. Okay. Okay. So I've kind of got a little bit of white space on my top edge, a little in the middle, Would be great if I knew which side was which. Okay, so we're done with our sticky notes, so we can get that out of the way. The next thing we're gonna need is we're going to need our piercing mat if you're using a brayer. If you're not using a brayer, just make sure you've got some grid paper or something down to cover your work area, because this is going to get a little, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is messy. I apologize in advance. I hope everybody needs to wash your hair tomorrow, because you're going to get ink on you. So you're going to start with your darkest color ink and your brayer. So for me, I'm using Gorgeous Grape, and then Fresh Freesia, and then I'm going to finish off with Bubble Gum. Bubble Bath. Why do I want to call this Bubble Gum? I think it's Wendy, because Wendy liked Bubble Gum Pink. I think that's why, right? Okay, so this is why typically we would start with our lightest color, but if you start with your lightest color, then everything's just going to be the dark color at the end. So we are going to start, and when I do this, I stack mine in the order that we're going to go. I don't know why it helps me, helps my thought process a little bit. So we're going to start with, I'm going to start with the Gorgeous Grape. We're gonna pop that open, and you do want your ink pads to be fairly inky.
I don't remember that little one.
Grab big ones, and you want colors that are gonna blend. So
Like
greens, all the greens that you like
Yeah.
would work great for this project. All right, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves a little bit because I like this sweater. All right, so I'm gonna ink up my brayer. That's what I'm gonna do first. When you ink up, this is the new Stampin' Up! Brayer, and I do love it. It works, so if you've got the old one that we sold years and years ago, it's kind of different. It works a little bit differently, it handles a little differently, and it feels a little differently. But I think if you don't have a brayer, it is a great brayer. So when you're brayering, the trick to inking it is you don't want to just roll it back and forth, because all you're doing is putting the ink back on the ink pad. So you want to lift, you want to roll and lift, and you want to make sure that you ink the entire brayer. And I am going to warn you, sometimes with as inky as our pads are now, if you might get a little bit of speckles through your sticky notes. That's okay, don't worry about it. We're going to cover it up later.
What if you don't have a brayer?
Just use your blending brushes, but you're
Okay.
gonna want three. You're gonna want three, because
Okay.
you don't want to stick a dark color into your light color. Same idea. Okay. You could also use daubers, Elaine. It'll just take a little bit longer to do it. And it'll be a little bit different effect, but it'll still look great. Okay. Boy, I need to oil my brayer. The other thing about a brayer that you need to know is when you store it, don't ever just lay it flat, because you'll get a flat edge on your brayer. Okay. All right. And the fun thing is I know some people I've seen where people have had where they get lines and stuff with this brayer. The piercing mat will help with that. But for this project, it doesn't matter. So don't freak out if you've got lines or it looks a little ombre or whatever. It's going to be okay, I promise. So you're going to want to start a little bit off your edge and just brayer straight across your cardstock. Now, because we're working with these sticky notes, I'm going to break a rule. Normally, you always brayer one direction, right, Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
But because of the sticky notes and because we want to get in those grooves, we're gonna break our own rule, and we're gonna kind of just go back in and fill in our space. Okay. The other thing you could do is if you're brayering and you're having an issue getting into those corners, you could grab a dauber or a blending brush and fill in. But hey, that's looking pretty good. Okay, we've got this little edge up here around our little square at the top. So I'm gonna work on him just a little bit more. And I should do the same thing when I'm rolling. I shouldn't just go back and forth, because I'm doing the same thing. I need to wheel all the way across. And I'm gonna hit that one spot. Got this one spot right there that I want to hit just a little more. But I think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. And I like the variation. It looks okay. All right, so now I'm going to grab. I was going to grab a paper towel, but apparently I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna close my ink pad because, okay, so here's really important. We're done with that grape ink pad. Move him away from you because you do not want to pick him back up and use him in the next step. You will not be happy with yourself. I speak from experience. And you may need some water, Rachel. We may need, actually, you know what's gonna be funny is grab that hand sanitizer. And a little hand, so if you don't have a water source close by, a little hand sanitizer and your paper towel will totally do the same thing. You just want to make sure you get the ink off. And you could probably use your chamois, but I just didn't want it that wet. Okay. All right, so I have a clean brayer. He feels pretty dry. Is he dry? Yes, he's dry. And if you are using water, just be careful that you don't drip on your cardstock. Hey, okay, we did one color of purple and I don't have it all over me yet. So that's better than I did on my practice session. All right, so my next color that I'm going to use is the Fresh Freesia. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to put my brayer with my Fresh Freesia. I'm going to remove the biggest sticky note. I'm just going to take it off. Okay, he's done. We're done with him. You can save him if he's not too inky to reuse him, but we're not going to. We're going to recycle that puppy. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same step with the Fresh Freesia. I'm going to ink my brayer and I'm going to brayer all over the entire project. So even where I had my, oh, I missed one little bit down on the bottom with mine. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll get on this. So I'm going to do my Fresh Freesia all over, even where I have the gorgeous grape. We're going to go back over all of it. Boy, he is squeaky. Is yours squeaky?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I've just used mine too much. Maybe he's tired.
It's brand new.
Oh, you just took yours out of the
Just
box.
out of the box.
Oh, look, I'm making Rachel use her stuff. All right. The problem with lighter colors is sometimes it's hard to see, but I think we got some on there. So let's try it. We're gonna start down here on this bottom edge that I missed earlier. We may have to go back in with a little, you know what, we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna go back in at the end with some of the grape and hit that corner. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got a little bit of a white edge on this bottom corner. So before I remove that last sticky note, I'll just go back in and add some grape there. So now I'm just adding my Fresh Freesia with my squeaky brayer. Ooh, let's get this over. See if we can just add that in. Let's see what we can just add that in down there real quick. And actually, you know what? I can go back. I'm going to go back and add just a little bit of grape down on that corner since I'm already inking. I'll just be careful to not go back up over the top. Oops, sorry, wiggling the paper all over the place. Sorry about that, Elaine. You with us, Elaine? I can't see you. I don't know why I can't. Oh, there you go. Okay, you're good. Okay, all right. Just checking on you. Now I can see you. I had a notification that was up there and it was hiding you from me. All right, so I'm just gonna touch that little corner down on the bottom corner to have a little bit of color down there. But I'm gonna be super careful and not get it on my other color. Yeah. All right, we got a little bit of color down there. Okay, so we're gonna call that good. Same thing, we're gonna put those ink pads. So now we're gonna put those ink pads to the side. Leave them alone. We're done with those for right now. And since my handy dandy assistant gave me my hand sanitizer, I'm going to clean my brayer off. I will, when I'm done, because this is rubber, I will go back and I will use some Dawn or actually, you know what? No, I'm lying to you. I'm gonna go back and use the Stampin' Spritz or like you would use to clean, like we used to use the Stampin' Mist and, Scrubby. I'm gonna use some Stampin' Mist just to kind of condition my brayer because that'll be good for the rubber. All right, so now I've got a clean brayer. I'm gonna set him down for just a minute. And I'm going to remove those 2 medium-sized sticky notes. Okay, so I'm going to take off 1, 2 of the sticky notes. Okay, and same thing, we're just going to ditch those. We don't need them. We can recycle them. Okay, and then the last color that we're going to use is I'm pulling out my bubble gum. What did you pick?
I went another fresh creation.
What did you? And the yellow.
Some yellow.
Will the yellow blend with the purples?
I don't know.
Okay.
I had to give up the brayer. It
You're-
wasn't working. I'm going to blend.
You're the artist, so I'm gonna say you're probably, you know what you're doing back there. Okay. All right, so this takes practice with a brayer, I will tell you. Okay, so it would be easier with a glossy cardstock. So if you're like me and you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or you're a customer who misses glossy cardstock, put it in the product sandbox or send Stampin' Up! A message. Tell them we want glossy cardstock back. All right, so I'm gonna just go same thing. I'm gonna do bubble gum, bubble bath. Once I start saying the wrong name, I should continually say the wrong name. I don't know why I'm doing that. Once I know what it is. All right, I'm gonna just keep going. Is the blending brushes working?
Yeah, they're working better.
Okay. Elaine, how are those blending brushes? Did you end up using blending brushes? YouTube or Facebook?
Yeah, I did. No.
Okay, nobody
The
got it.
only comment was Debbie asking at the beginning 5.5 by 8.5 question.
Oh, Debbie's been proofreading my stuff. For Debbie. We are so excited about our East Meets West stamping stuff, but man, it definitely takes a village to raise me when it comes to technology and all the things that we're trying to get done this week. Okay.
That was
So
other than your sister saying that. Oh,
my sister
Tiffany.
Tiffany was on Facebook. Oh my gosh, she must really miss me. All right. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. Okay. All right. So I think I'm good. What do you think? What do you think, Elaine?
Let's go.
Does that look cool? Elaine, what do you think? You ready for the big reveal?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to set that aside. Same thing. I'm going to wipe my brayer off a little bit, but I'll make sure I clean him really good after we're done. I would say if you're going to do this with a brayer and you haven't used a brayer in a while or ever, I would start with colors like these where you've got purples or blue. It's basically the same color in different shades that will blend really easily. You'll be happier. I'll show you some samples of where I played with it and why that's true. Okay. All right, so there's that. All right, so now I'm going to very carefully take off these last sticky notes. I'm also going to make sure I don't have any residual ink on my fingers because I don't want little Tracy fingerprints on the white spots. So I'm going to very carefully take these last sticky notes off. Ooh, look at that. Love it when a plane comes together. Okay, maybe. Oh, there we go. And voila. So now I have some white space, which you want some white space. Okay, so that's our technique. Our technique is called Go Retro. Is the name. It's an old technique. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna decide which way we want to turn this. And I told you guys that you would want a punch, a flower punch, or a flower die. You could also just, if you have a flower stamp set handy, you could use that too. But I think we're gonna do, I'm gonna do punches. But before I do that, I'm gonna stamp a greeting on mine. So if you've got some white space and you want to go ahead and stamp a greeting, this is a great time to do it. So I'm gonna pull out my go-to greetings because you could use it for everything. And I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make it a happy birthday card. Oh, I have lots of thank you cards right now. Do you ever do that? You get lots of thank you cards, but no. Like I never have a birthday card when I need a birthday card. Let's see. That one. Okay. All right. No, that's the thinking of you. I can use that too, I suppose. Okay, there's a happy birthday. All right. So I'm going to use the happy birthday. And I'm going to do this in the gorgeous grape. And I think he'll fit. Let's not stamp him upside down. I think he's going to fit right there. So I'm going to just put him in right there. Now, if you don't want to stamp a greeting, you could add a tag or something later. You don't have to stamp your greeting right now if you don't want to. But if you're going to and you want it on the white space, this is a good time to do it. And I'm going to pull this, I'm sorry, I'm going to pull this down off the grid paper because for some reason lately I can't see the stamp. There we go. That should be okay. And the nice thing is if I mess it up, I can always make a tag and hide it. But look, that turned out pretty okay. See, Reggie?
Cool.
All right,
All right.
so I could, if I wanted to, I could just stamp flowers or something. Flowers look good on these. It's kind of a good flower card. All right, so I'm done with those. I'm gonna clean the stamp. Just put them away so I don't lose them.
Actually, my background looks the coolest.
Let me see. Oh, that looks good too. So have you ever done that? So, you know, if take your paper that you stamp on and things, this is Rachel's, where she was just playing like what her scrap paper. I've seen people take these and cut them up and use them for card bases, like card backs. I think you should totally do that. Yeah. Keep playing with that. Okay, so that's my piece for that. Since I have it out and I'm kind of done with that part, I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to go ahead and put my card base together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount the my stamped piece to a piece of gorgeous grape, which is, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say the wrong thing. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm just gonna glue it. Okay. Oops. All right. All right, and I'm going to turn around behind me and score the card base at 5 1/2. You guys know how to do that, so you don't need to see me do that. Okay, so there's my stamp piece. What did I do with the simply scored? I had it. Oh, he's over here. Oh, hey, there's the cleaner I was looking for. All right. Okay, so I now have a scored card base I'm gonna use my bone folder and give it a nice little. Sorry, everything's out. I keep bumping things, sorry. Let's try that again. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, so there's that. And I'm just, oops. Oh, gee. I just did it. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna glue. Oh, did it? Oh, shoot. Oh, no, it's right. Okay. I'm gonna glue this piece then on the card base. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a cool looking card, kind of fun. If you wanted to, if you didn't want the white space, you could then go back in with maybe one more color and add in. And shoot, I meant to, you could also, before you add it to your card base, you could run it through an embossing folder, which would be fun too.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. All right, so we're gonna just put that over there so we don't lose it. And I am going to punch some flowers. And I'm gonna have to look up the name of this punch because I can never the name of the punch. So grab that stuff. And again, I'm using the same colors that I used with my ink. I'm using the bubblegum, the freesia, and then the gorgeous grape. And then of course, all-time favorite punch. Of course, we're gonna have to use the sprig punch, not sprig punch. Oh my gosh, the bow punch. I loved the sprig punch too. And we're going to look up the name of this punch because I think I want to say I know it's a builder punch. It is the Petal Park Builder. So there was no way I was going to remember that. All right, so, oh shoot. Okay, I need some paper out of that drawer. All right. Just that green. It's the next to bottom drawer in there. The parakeet party. I just need a scrap of it. Oh, perfect. Let's see. That'll work. That should be enough. Okay, and so because I don't want to lose my pieces, I'm gonna get out my little paella dishes. Because otherwise what happens is I start punching things and things end up on the floor. Or they disappear and we can never find them again, like the pair of scissors I lost during a Facebook Live back in the fall and I still haven't found them. All right, so I want three. I'm gonna build these flowers into one flower. So I need 3 pieces to make one flower. So I want 3 layers and 3 flowers. So I'm gonna do 3 of each one. I have grape. No. I have to go get some grape. Let's see what I can do. Yeah, do you mind? It's in the middle, in that middle drawer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's wishful thinking that I was going to get 3 of them. Okay. I just need a teeny piece, Rachel. 2. I mean, it was close. I could have done it if I'd done a little better planning. That's fine. I'll just do a corner of that one. And oh, it's okay. Nah, I'm good, but I'm not that good. Okay. All right. So then we're done with that. We're done with that color. Stuff those, and then my third color would be my bubble bath. And I had pulled out some white, thinking I might make a tag, but I really like my little happy birthday stamped on there, so I'm not going to use those pieces. I'm going to just put them over out of the way. Did you find what you needed? Okay. So. let's see. Mhm. Off that edge. Okay. There's two. Oops, maybe. Okay. If you're like me and your hands are starting to get tired, I like to use my table or my counter for a little leverage to get with my punches. So I just kind of lock it in, flip it over. And then just, and it really does save, especially if you're like me and you're getting where you don't have a lot of hand strength, or it's late at night and you've been stamping all day and your hands are tired. Or whatever reason. Okay, so we're done with that one. And then we're gonna just pull in the bow punch. One of these days I'm gonna make something out of all the little pieces that I end up with from this punch that I don't end up using. You want this one too?
No.
Huh?
No.
No? Okay. Let's see. So this is that on the house. Okay. So 3 of those, and 3 of those. All right, Rachel, you sure you don't need this? Okay. Hey, Elaine, what are you using for your colors? Oh, unmute yourself.
Pink and green.
Pink and green. Okay, we kind of have a theme going tonight, I think.
I didn't have a punch, so I just kind of used a couple different flower things.
That's okay. That's okay. This is kind of one of those fun, if you've got some extra pieces, some extra punched or dies or whatever.
Yeah, I had plenty of dies, but I didn't want to use my die machine because it's so noisy.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, it is. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, or I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna put together my flowers. And before I put them together, I'm gonna grab a bone folder. I want them to have a little bit of texture. Those leaves on the- So I'm just gonna grab like all my pink ones. My bubble bath. Look, I am trainable. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my bone folder and just kind of work them a little bit so that they're not flat. And then, while I have each, I'm gonna do this for each of the 3 colors. So I'm just gonna give them a little, oh, you know what, we could have plugged that into the TV. I didn't even make it until just now.
Oh yeah, that works good.
What?
That works good. Giving a little more dimension.
Yeah, so wait, there's more. We're gonna try something. Okay, so I did kind of practice putting one of these together because I played with this punch, but I just used it with a set that you could stamp one of the flowers and then just punch out one of the flowers. So I haven't actually used it as a builder. Trying to use all my stuff I've got some stamp sets I'll need to use. I also have some dies I need to use. I think it's an ongoing problem. It's my first world problem at the moment. Okay, so I've done all 3. I've done 3 of my 3 layers. So now what I'm going to do, just to have these have a little bit kind of a little bit of dimensions. I'm gonna grab my bubble bath. And I'm just gonna kind of drop the petals on there on top of the ink pad. I'm not doing anything special, and I'm just gonna kind of tap, tap, tap them. And really, the only thing that should be getting ink is those raised edges. So where it's flat, it shouldn't. And then I'm just gonna dump them off. Look at that. Okay, so they're not gonna be so flat looking. And while you've got your bone folder, if you wanted to, you could use your bone folder and kind of give them a little more of a tap tap if you wanted to, just use your finger. Okay, so I got pink flowers. While I have those out, I'm gonna go ahead and, how are we doing time-wise, guys? Oh, we got about 15 minutes. We are gonna wrap this up by 8 o'clock. I promise. Okay, so we're done with that one. All right, so I'm gonna just take, you could do a couple things with this punch. At this point, you could build them together and then use a piercing tool and use a brad and put them together. I'm just gonna do some liquid glue. And I'm just gonna put the 3 layers together. And I'm gonna just do each one like this. And that way they'll have time to set before I'm ready to put them on my card. So I'll put them back in my little bowls, my little paella dishes. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do a drop of glue. Oh yeah, I like them with the ink.
That's my-
Huh?
Yeah, that was.
Did that work?
I like it.
Did it work for you? Good. Yeah, I mean, it's subtle. Oh, that one, seeing that one didn't get a lot, but it's okay. One of them didn't get he didn't get quite enough ink, but that's okay. We'll love him anyway. We'll love him for his differences. Okay. All right, so those are my 3 bubble bath. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the grape. I'll do, because that's in my order, that's the one I have next. So same thing, I'm gonna grab my bone folder again. And just work those a little bit. And I would say the best way to learn, especially if it's a technique or a punch or something you haven't used, do the same thing 3 times. Or at least make the same project or technique at least twice. And that will help you. If you can do it 2 to 4 times, usually that helps me remember how to do it. Quiet crowd tonight.
Mm.
How's our Facebook feed, Rachie?
All of us.
Just us. That's
Me.
okay.
You know it's perfect. Oh,
Just us chickens. Is Debbie still with us?
yeah, I think, how do you know for sure?
It should, and I can't check it from here. It's okay. All right, if anybody else is watching, make a comment, let us know that you're there. Maybe you need to start giving something away.
Yeah.
What should I give away? Huh?
Robin Walker.
Oh, hey, Robin. Yeah.
Debbie.
Debbie's tired of talking to me. She's talked to me like, and now she has to room with me in Houston. Poor Debbie. I don't know, you roomed with me. I'm not a bad roommate.
You're a
right?
good
I'm
roommate.
a good roommate.
Who's gonna make the margaritas? Who's gonna make the margaritas?
Well, nobody's gonna make the margaritas because she doesn't drink. I mean, well, we drink
Oh,
them
that's
if
right.
the boys are here, but no, she'll drink her beer. Huh? Oh shoot, I forgot to put put those in the ink. Okay, those My bottom flowers are not gonna get any ink because I forgot to do it.
It was
But
Drew that liked the margaritas.
Drew is our margarita boy.
Yeah.
And he and Jay were going to get to go, but, with us, but there's been a, well, anyway, they're just not gonna be able to go, so. But that's okay. We're gonna still have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Girls trip.
It's turned into a girls' trip. Yes, that is exactly what has happened. But we're excited because Megan's gonna go.
Woohoo.
And yeah, and we're gonna get to see lots of our friends who, actually a lot of our friends who were at the beach in February are going. So we're excited to get to spend some time with them.
Okay, I love this flower punch. This is cool.
Isn't it great? I knew you would love it. Okay, let's see if that's a little better. Okay. All right, the grape ones, you're not going to be able to see the ink on quite as nicely as the pink, but I think they'll still be okay. All right, so let's try this again. Boy, Rachel's just whacking away on my punches over here.
Almost got myself.
Oh my gosh, I did that like not very long ago, and I'm like, okay, I know better.
Just a little.
I wasn't paying attention. It's when you know you're, not paying attention to what you're doing. Do something silly like this. Yeah, my advice is if you ever start to drop a punch or a die, let it hit the floor. Do not try to grab it. You will hurt yourself. Just get out of the way so you don't drop it on your foot. All right, so there's my grape flowers. My gorgeous grape. Guest bathroom at the old house was this color at one point. Do you remember that, Rachel? I made the mistake of sending Jay and Bennett to pick paint color, and I'm pretty sure I said eggplant, but what they came back with was grape.
Oh,
And so we had for quite a few years, we had a grape colored, well, it was Bennett's bathroom, so we had a grape colored bathroom. What's a weird color that you all have painted a room?
My mom
I
thought
had it.
my mauve back in the 80s when that was hot.
Yeah.
And it came out like fuchsia. It was not good.
Oh.
My dad looked out. He was like, oh my God, what are you doing?
That's pretty bad.
We still joke about it.
How about you, Elaine?
I had an orange butterscotchy color bedroom
Woo!
because my mother made me have a purple room and I hated it. So I'm like, okay, I'll fix your wagon.
That never turns out well, or it doesn't work for me.
Well, then I ran away and got married. So
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
A little late, but Debbie posted, yeah, Drew loves margaritas, yes, girls trip, and watch out Houston.
All of those things are true. All of those things are true.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it will definitely be. Yeah, I don't know about us together. I don't know, unsupervised. And I don't know that I consider Megan supervision. Well, Tony Campana, Tony's gonna be there, so she's kind of, yeah, she's supervision. She was supervision on stage or backstage in New Orleans. She's a pretty good, she's a responsible adult.
Yeah, Megan will egg you on.
Yeah, that's the problem, is Megan is who, yeah, I'm not even gonna, boy, I have definitely been in some trouble there. All right, so we're finishing up the flowers. All right, I think we can do this. We are almost there, guys. Yeah, this project, so the technique itself is not time consuming, but as long as your colors will blend, you could use it to make any kind of background. So you could, if you wanted a more masculine background or something, you could do blues, and then just maybe do, the sailboat dies or stamps. Yeah. You could totally stamp on it too. I just loved the idea of taking it and doing something new, and using flower punches. Yeah. Because I'm ready for spring. I know you guys don't know that about me, but I do not like winter.
Hate winter.
They don't, yeah. There's
I can't
no-
wait till it gets 90 degrees.
You know, it was hilarious. We had the guy coming and spraying our doing our bug spray for the quarter or whatever. And he's like, I said, oh, you know, you poor guy, you're out in the rain doing this. And he's like, oh, it's better than, 90 degrees. And I'm like, no, it's not. Sorry, it is just not. Cleaning the pool this winter has not been fun. All right, we're getting there.
Yeah, more first world problems.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I know, right? I'm sorry. I think every problem I have is probably a first world problem. All right, so we're gonna grab our ink.
It's nice to only have a first.
Yes. Well, and we were in Cuba last
Yeah.
last couple of weeks, or for 5 days a week ago, and it was beautiful. It was so fun, but you realize that a lot of what we get bent about is definitely a first world problem. But talk about like lovely people, and oh my goodness, so much yummy food, and very creative. We went to some galleries and saw some art. Oh, well, yeah, well, Tracy got a little enthusiastic with the ink on those. Okay. We're gonna go with it. I think they're okay. But very creative people. Some really beautiful artwork.
Carolyn Bosley, do some homework. We'll work through it and make this later this week.
Oh, okay, Carolyn, I want to see what you make because I know it'll be fabulous. Okay, so we got that. All right, I just need my glue. I'm gonna do my last set of flowers. And then we get to do the fun part. We get to put it all together. Ooh, I like these inky ones.
Carolyn said, I love you.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I caught a little bit of your Facebook Live the other night. It was very, I guess, Saturday. It was very good. I liked it. I'm gonna go back and finish watching it.
Robin Walker, the closed caption on your Zoom session cracks me up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Entertaining how to interpret what you say.
Oh yeah, it really loves my Southern, doesn't it?
That's funny.
Yeah. What's really sad is that's what Jay hears when I talk. You know, those crazy texts, like you see the text message memes where people it interprets what they're saying. Yeah, that's how Jay actually hears me, I think. He doesn't ever actually hear what I say. Or maybe he just pretends. Okay. That glue aside for a minute. I could have done these flowers with glue dots, but I like doing them with glue just because it gives you a little bit more flexibility as far as you can wiggle them around a little bit and you don't have to worry about it. As soon as you stick it down, it's stuck. All right. Okay, I got those a little bit dark, but they're okay. I think they're okay. They're also very wet. The pad was a lot inkier than I thought it was. That's okay. All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna make sure my fingers are somewhat clean. Hey, I like this, putting the alcohol, like, so we, I don't know if you guys realize that Rachel just did some of the hand sanitizer on a paper towel for me, and it's not as wet as a baby wipe, and then I still have some place dry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gonna start doing that, I think. I like that. All right. So I think I can get rid of my silicone mat because I'm not gonna be in, well, it's me. I probably should wait. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of lay out my card. Yeah, I think I will. Okay, so I have my card. I've got my 3 sets of flowers and I've got my greenery from our bow punch. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of maybe, I'm gonna start with the bow leaves, just because that's the biggest piece that we have. And I'm gonna kind of just figure out where those might go. If I wanted them to go on here. Let's see, maybe we'll just do. That's not too bad. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait on this one. This one I may wait. I'll add him in a minute. I'm gonna have to have 3, but we're gonna wait on him. So I think I'm gonna start with the darkest. No, I'm lying to you. I'm gonna take those off. We'll add them in. So I'm just gonna kind of start adding my flowers in and kind of see where I might want them to go. And this is the fun part. Let's do this. Maybe we'll scoot these guys. Let's do a little more. I think this is the hardest part of this kind of project is the placement. Because you still want it to look kind of random. Switch this. What are you
I'll
off
find
on?
my dimensionals.
Oh, we should have just grabbed some of mine. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Not loving that. Hang on. Okay, let's do this. Let's move that one up. Start over. Hmm. I could just do one, and I could do that. I could use just one flower. But I kind of wanted to fill in my space a little bit more than that. So then let's try. See, I knew that green piece was going to go in there. All right, so that's not too bad. Well, that one goes. Mhm. And everything's just going everywhere. Maybe we'll put that other one. There we go. I think I'm gonna go back and watch the video and see if I ended up putting those leaves back in where where I started with them. Cause I bet I did. Okay, that's not too bad. What do you think, Rach?
That's good.
Is that okay? Okay, so then I'm just gonna take a little, you know what, I think, yeah, I'm just gonna use a little glue and I'm gonna glue down my flowers and, my boughs. I'm just gonna start in a random place. I don't really know where to start.
You glue gunning it? Oh, no, I thought it was a glue gun at first.
Oh, oh God, can you imagine me and just, can you imagine me and this project and a glue gun? Oh my gosh, you've seen me use a glue gun. It is scary. That could get dangerous on a, it's not that wild a Wednesday night. Have us all glued together. Let's just- Pushing in there a little bit. Well, I don't know if anybody watching knows, but I am going to celebrate a birthday on Monday, and Rachel was so sweet and brought me a beautiful present. But to have everybody celebrate with me, if you put in an order this month, anytime before the 31st, get a 15% discount as my present to have you help me celebrate my birthday. And yes, I had somebody ask me, the new online exclusives count. You can put those in your order as well. It can be anything. If I wasn't working really quickly, I would have taken a picture of this with my cell phone. So I remembered where I put things.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Because by the time I
Yeah,
put it down and then I take it up.
Yeah.
I especially do it with my samplers. When I'm making samplers.
mine.
I know I'm gonna like it. I always like
I
that.
think it's,
I always like what
I
you
used
do.
little things I had in cake, so.
Did you serendipity? Oh my gosh. Okay, Rachel wins. I don't even want you to see mine now. Oh, I love the dragonfly.
It worked out perfect.
That looks amazing. And I love your colors. And the yellow did look okay on the mixed with the purple. Or did you not use, or did you just stamp
I
it?
started with yellow.
Oh, you started with
And that
yellow?
kind of bled through the
Yeah.
stamping, whatever, the sticky
For the
pad.
sticky pad, I had that happen on
I'm
some.
like, I would go with that.
I love that. Okay, you could just leave that here.
I'm like, cute.
That is
I'm
adorable.
happy. I've got to get this punch now.
Oh,
I
woe
love
is
it.
me. I'm so sorry. You have to buy something.
And I'm gonna have to save my background paper because it's cool.
Yeah, I want to see what you make with that. Maybe we'll do that one night. We'll have everybody, maybe that should be a team, maybe that needs to be a team challenge is use one sheet of grid paper for the month, and then at the end of the month, we'll make something with that piece. Okay, so I've got my flowers all finally on, I think. I think they're all glued on. Nope, that one's not. Okay. All right. Yeah, I should have used the dragonfly punch. I didn't think about that. That would have been good. Or the ladybug or the bumblebee. All of those would be super cute on this.
Yes, Yeah, the ladybug would be.
Or
great.
that cute little bird, that little,
Uh-huh.
my little Tweety bird that I love so much.
Yes.
The bird builder, not the tweet. I think they should have called it Tweety bird. All right, so I have those on, and then somewhere, let's see, I've got some Jemmy things. So these are the adhesive back solid gems. I think these were part of the, aren't these part of the suite with the sunflower stuff? I think that's what they were. Anyway, I'm gonna use these yellow ones because Rachel and I, great minds think alike. I wanted some yellow with my purple.
Goes good together.
It does. And I'm gonna use all three sizes. I'm just gonna mix it up. And that'll give me a little more. Somebody's gonna get a really fancy birthday card from me, sort of. A sort of fancy.
Somebody else has a birthday this month.
Somebody else, I don't know. Oh, maybe somebody else. Well, I have that already done. I think. Yeah, Rachel's birthday is, March is just a good month to be doing. It's just a good birthday month. It's also Linda Claus's birthday. There's somebody else who has a birthday this month. Don't remember who it is. I think maybe somebody in Christie's family. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna add these little gems. And I think, wait, I'm just throwing these puppies everywhere today. That one did not get glued. I had another one that didn't get glued. Boy. Glad I didn't pick up my card. I had stuff flying everywhere. Oh. Okay, we ran a little bit long tonight, ladies. Sorry about that. Generally, we are done in an hour. It has been a long time since we've run over. But we did chatter a little bit beforehand, so. Okay. Almost.
It's your tiny flowers.
Yeah, the flower, I should
Yeah.
have pre-done my flowers, but I wasn't quite sure I was gonna use them again. But yeah, the flowers took longer than anything, so. Yeah, but it is a great punch, and you could use them as single layers. You wouldn't have to build necessarily every time with them. There's one of the celebration stamp sets that they matched that you could punch out. I used that on my blog last month. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's not as fancy as Rachel's, but I like it.
I got lucky.
Rachel's like the queen of the serendipity project.
I like to make pieces and
You
just
do?
have them ready.
She does. She is definitely a peacemaker. Haha. Okay, so there is mine,
Cute.
which
That's cute.
I think it turned out nice.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Kind of fun. And I actually wish I had over inked on the other. I really like these that I put ink on. The other thing is it's gonna, once it sets up, it'll kind of mellow out a little bit too. And I could have gone in maybe with a stamp that was like a little, just sprinkles and put in some little sprinkles, but that would have looked great too. All right, so.
Very cool.
And we showed yours. Okay, so Elaine, you ready? You gonna show me yours?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me get to you. Let's see. Where's the spotlighty doodah? All right. I am replacing you. Oh, I love it.
I don't like the way this turned out down here, but I'm like, well, now I know.
The first one is hard. The first one is hard.
But
all right.
I like the little flower, and it's springtime.
I know, I do, and I like the green. Is that which color green is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just picked out a green I liked.
You're so funny.
I don't know any of the names of the papers.
All right, so real quick, I'm gonna go back over and show you guys a couple of okay, so I did play, like I said, I don't usually. This was my first attempt well, the first card I finished. This is not my first attempt. So I did play with it a little bit. I did play because I hadn't built the flowers. I'm probably going to go back in and add a greeting on it when I decide who I'm going to give it to, but I really think I do agree with you guys. I like the other one with the ink on those flowers.
Yeah.
And then this was my first one because I forgot that you're supposed to leave some white space.
Well, I kind of like it without the white space.
And if you like it without the white space, it's great. I actually think this is really cool. It looks very Partridge Family to
Yeah.
me. What's funny is you'll never guess I started with sweet sorbet.
Oh, wow.
And then I did pumpkin, and then I did crushed curry. And that doesn't look like any of those colors. I mean, I guess the pumpkin, but it really didn't look like sweet sorbet to me. So I was like, that wasn't really quite what I was going for. Wasn't going for Partridge Family. So then I went back and I tried again, but I left, I remembered to leave the white space. And I had the same problem that Rachel had. I had some ink bleed through my sticky note, which I don't know why that's happening, but I think the ink is so saturated. I like this corner. And then I did switch it up, and then this is just the sorbet. Is it sweet sorbet? No, that's not the right color.
Sweet sorbet is pinky. That's what this is.
What's the current? Oh my gosh, it's a current in color. Now my brain is not working. This was petal pink. When I first did the petal pink, it looked really brown, and so I decided I didn't. And this is coral. I used coral with it, and I didn't love that one. And then this is again back to my original colors, except this is daffodil. So you can see it works. I kind of like it. You can kind of mix it up and use, as long as your colors will blend, it looks great. But I kind of do really like using more like this one where I used the pinks and the purples together, or maybe do blues, kind of keep it a little more uniform. So those are my samples and my cards. And I've had a couple people remind me that I do need to post some pictures. So I will do that. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture so I don't forget to do it. And let's see. So, oh, hey, Pat Crocker. How are you?
I was muted, wasn't I?
You what? Yes, you're muted. How are you? Oh, you muted again.
Okay. I
Oh,
love
there you
your
are.
card. I love your card. I love all the petals, and it's good to see Elaine there too. And
Hi.
hey, Elaine.
Hi.
Elaine is gonna come stamp tomorrow.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, do you
Oh.
want to come stamp with us tomorrow?
Oh, great. What time are you stamping?
I think 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah. We'll talk about
I'll-
it. I'm gonna wrap us up real quick. So for those of you who are joining us via Facebook, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us. If you did make the card, please post it in the comments below, because we would love, love, love to see what you do, because lots of you are a lot more creative than I am. Rachel back here, to name just one. So we would love to see what you make, and we're gonna end this so we can go chat for a minute. And thank you again for joining us, and we will see you in April for more mystery stamping. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, Pat, you can come over and chat with us a minute.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So I